All right, let's talk about Danny Dimes of the Indianapolis Colts having a great game, getting away from the Giants and doing a lot of really good stuff. So first, I think one of the real things that they like about Danny Dimes and with this offense, Shane Steichen was able to run a lot of these types of concepts with the Eagles back when he was there and back when they went to a Super Bowl. And, honestly, Hurts had his best year with Shane Steichen as offensive coordinator there, where what's going to happen is this is a zone coverage concept. You have a receiver running a deep route, just trying to push the corner and safety further deep. As then Tyler Warren is going to run that route, essentially just going to where now hopefully there aren't defenders. Jones takes the snap. He's going to look in that direction. And as of right here, it is open. And really, the reality is, like with Anthony Richardson, things were just different. Right? Like you had to kind of completely change the playbook. You couldn't just call these traditional plays and have a quarterback who can make the throws. Now with Daniel Jones, you can do that. Watch as Jones, well-timed, gets the ball over there. It was well ran by the Colts, and I think this is kind of what they wanted, was like, can we just have some plays where no one looks like a superstar, where it's just like a solid, good play where everyone's just executing and running the play as designed? Because that's how you win football games, is by doing this stuff. Yes, the highlights, sometimes that's how you win as well, right? Like, that's how the Bills won with Josh Allen, but like, this is how you usually win football games. This play being another one where it's going to be, once again, this is going to be a zone coverage concept. Actually, a very similar type of play. It's actually kind of reversed now, where the tight end is pushing the safety deep, and then you have a receiver, Michael Pittman, going to kind of run around and get towards the sideline. Jones takes the snap on this one, and again, you see play works as you wanted here. Gotta state the obvious, bad defense by the Dolphins. You gotta pick these guys up. You gotta know how these concepts work and know how to get through your rotations, but it is week one. It's kind of harder to do that. It's the Dolphins. I don't think they're gonna be great at that in week 18 either. But it's also a beautiful throw. It was a really well-ran route and really good schemed up plays. And again, this is what they want. It's yes, on one hand, you could say, okay, is Jones making these tight window, difficult throws? No, he isn't. But at the same time, that's kind of what you want, right? Like, you don't want a quarterback to have to be awesome on every single play. You want things to be easier, and they certainly were. Although, to be clear, there were moments when Daniel Jones showed real value. I mean, again, the guy's not a horrible quarterback. Like, it was very weird when they announced he was going to start, and people were acting like they were going to be a first overall pick type of team. Like, they have a good supporting cast, and Jones has shown flashes with the Giants. He made the playoffs with the Giants, right? Won a playoff game. Like, I'm not saying he was great there, but he wasn't Nathan Peterman either. In this play, he's really going to show his value. It's a 4th down and 1 situation. This is what the Dolphins appear to be doing, a cover 1 man blitz. Except watch that Miami player right here. Watch what he's going to do once this play begins. Watch as he's going to instead rush in. This is a disguise, and so what does that mean? So, well, for one thing, you could get a straight shot to the quarterback, either with him directly getting through or just because he's getting picked up, someone else can get through. But this is the flip side. You see that the safety now has to pick up the receiver who that blitzing defensive back was lined up against. So this is usually fine. I mean, you see Steve Spagnuolo with the Chiefs does this all the time, but on a 4th down and 1, the issue is there's going to be that second or two when you can just make a quick throw. The difficulty is Jones has to read the play. He has to spot that this is happening and get the ball out of his hands quickly. You need just quick processing here. That's what Jones does. Good route by Josh Downs as well, and they pick up the 1st down on 4th down and 1. Good job there, right? And that's Jones showing value. That's not just the offense running as designed. That's, they didn't know that was going to happen, because how do you predict that? It's you can't know until you snap the ball. Jones able to hold his own there. And of course, this play, which was this one I saw people sharing on Twitter and all that stuff, because it was a very, very impressive play. So Alec Pierce running a deep shot on the outside. Again, Dolphins don't have the best corners. Like, they just don't. So take advantage, take a deep shot, why not? Jones is going to take a snap. He runs a play action, looks towards Alec Pierce, fires towards Alec Pierce. The safety sees this. He saw that his corner needed help, so he's trying to come over and make a play. So you have essentially 3 defenders you have to worry about. The corner who Pierce is beating, the safety, and then the sideline, right? Coaches will always tell you, use the sideline as a defender. You have to kind of thread the needle here far down the field. and Jones does exactly that. So, like, he mostly was just doing the simple stuff throughout this game. That was most of what we saw from him, but we really did see flashes of him being able to show a lot of value, I thought. Something like this was kind of the most of what we saw, just like, okay, run a play action, get a window open, get the ball out of your hands quickly. Again, you could just as much praise the coaching staff as the quarterback if you want, but again, that's the idea, right? No one has to be a star in this play to make it work. That's what you want. We also saw a little bit of his athleticism. I've always felt like he's such an underrated athlete. He's one of the better athletes that plays quarterback in the league. He really is. People don't view him that way, but like I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson, but he's only one tier below. He's really good when it comes to using his legs. Here, nothing open. Watch him get outside the pocket, and he's going to use his legs to, pick up some stuff there. On a 1st and 30, hey, you're able to ultimately pick up 10 yards. That makes it 2nd and 20, gives you a much higher odds of being able to convert from there. So, good stuff. If I remember correctly, there was a defensive penalty that got him a first down anyway, so it didn't matter. But, again, it shows what he can do, right? Now, if there was one negative, again, I watched the film here. This is a film study. You already know what the box score was. You can look that up in 2 seconds. What I'm doing here is trying to put everything into perspective. And if there's a bad play that doesn't end up affecting them, I'm still going to bring it up. This play, you see, it's Michael Pittman's route that's going to be going more over the middle against man coverage that you're going to want to look towards here. Jones takes the snap, and sometimes this can just be a setup route. Pittman's kind of stopped at this point, doesn't really think that there's a lot here. I don't know why Daniel Jones decides to make this throw. I really don't know what he is thinking here. As you see, this one could have been picked, and again, that's what you want to avoid when you're being the game manager running the offense. Quarterback is don't throw the turnover in these situations. He definitely could have gotten burned with that one, but ultimately, luckily for him, things worked out. So yeah, but either way, again, if you can get 2 really good positives or 3 really good positives and 1 turnover-worthy play a game, and then he can just run the offense throughout the rest of it, you'll gladly take that. That's what Sam Darnold gave the Vikings last year, right? No one's expecting perfection, but can you play well? And he could. Now, you're going from one of the worst defenses in the league to one of the best next week with the Denver Broncos. So that's going to be a tough game, and that's going to be a real test. And some other tests coming up. I mean, you have the Titans, who defense looked surprisingly good. Week 1. You have the Rams, who also looked really good week 1. Gets a little bit easier from there, but still, some games you have to make sure that you can, some harder test, right? He passed the easy quiz. Now you're going to have to pass the SATs or whatever, but you don't pass the SATs, do you? I don't know. I'm 30. I never went to college. Doing my best here. But yeah, either way, really fun stuff from Daniel Jones. Those are my thoughts on him and his performance. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.